This video is designed to give you a sense of how to plot points and what some of the definitions are for the coordinate axis. I've plotted 4 points for you here on an XY axis grid, or the coordinate system. The coordinate system is composed of an x-axis, which is this axis here, okay? So it runs back and forth. This is the x-axis running as a normal number line, starting at 0 in the center and going positive to the right and negative to the left. The y-axis is this axis, the vertical one, running up and down here, and it starts at 0 in the center and goes up in the positive direction and down in the negative direction. That means we can now plot points. Instead of just plotting points on a number line, we can plot points on a grid, which means we can take some of the values that I've plotted and describe them with an ordered pair. Now remember, ordered pairs are given in alphabetical order, which means we give you the x value first and the y value second. This is crucial to remember. Lots of students get this mixed up. But if you just remember that it's alphabetical, you'll be able to plot points. What that means is we can find the difference between point A, which is our point right here, and that point A then is going to have the ordered pair 5, 2. Because it's 5 over on the x-axis, so you start here at 0 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'd go 2 up in the y-axis, so you'd start here and go up 1, 2, winding up at this point. Now conversely, point B is 2, 5. Since we begin at 0, 0 again, and we count over 1, 2 points in the x direction, and then we start there and go up 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the y-axis. So those 2 points are often mixed up. A is 5, 2, 5 in the x direction and 2 in the y direction, and B is 2, 5, 2 in the x direction and 5 in the y direction. So obviously we can go into the negatives as well. So we have this full sheet that goes on forever in a grid. And if we look at point C, that's going to be 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the negative direction, meaning that we can plot that point as 2, -5. Reflected around the x-axis, if you will, from point B. So it's just, instead of 2, 5 going up, it's 2, -5 going down, and you wind up here. And finally, one more point just to get you organized. If we go in the negative direction to start with, we go this way and we're at -6, down 3, that's going to be -6, -3. So point D is -6, -3. Now, you'll notice the Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, and 4 written in red. So here's 1, that's quadrant 1. And what that means is anything that's positive and positive is going to be in quadrant 1. So everything up here is going to be a positive x value and a positive y value. Quadrant 2 is this quadrant over here, anything in this area. So anything off in the upper left is going to be a negative value for the x value and a positive value for the y value. Quadrant 3 down here, that's going to be a negative and a negative. And quadrant 4 obviously is going to be a positive in the x direction and then going down, so a negative in the y direction. I hope this gives you a good sense of how to plot points so that your graphing unit will go smoothly. It's important to get these points all correct and to get the ordered pairs are in alphabetical order. So we can name a spot on this grid, and of course we could name a spot 2.5, 7.5, and if we were to do that, we'd go over 2.5 and up 7.5, and we'd wind up somewhere in here. You can go any decimal version or fractional version you wish, or any irrational number. In other words, you can pick any spot on this number line. I've just given some dots in large red large red scroll right there, those 4 dots. But of course, they're absolutely infinitesimally small points. All right, hope this helps.